Huh.
We should be live on Twitch now.
Uh,
Ba, ba, ba,
yeah, I
ba,
believe we are.
ba. Let's check it out. Channel. Ba, ba, ba. It's looking good. Um,
Yeah.
does it sound alright? I can't.
Let me see. Let's hear. Okay.
Ba, ba, ba.
I don't know. It feels like I'm not connecting. Give me a second.
Alright. Yeah, it does that sometimes. It'll throw an ad in your face.
All right, let's see this. Offline. Live. No, here's an ad. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. There's an ad for American Gods if I haven't already watched it.
Think I had seen this shit already?
Yeah, okay. I All right, it's perfect. We are live.
Alright. That is
Radical.
all we
Okay. Ooh.
So,
Yeah, what's on the itinerary? How was your week?
the itinerary. You start with your week.
My week?
'Cause
Okay.
I
I
need
had
to walk
sometimes my
myself.
week feels like it doesn't change from the last one, like sometimes I feel like I'm just stuck in school doing a
Just
lot of
time
fucking
loop.
homework, tests, exams, all that bullshit. And sometimes something really special fucking pops up. This week I did a lot of watching. Apart from watching the third episode of Titans, which I will talk about in a moment, and yeah, spoilers, it continues to actually be really good. Uh, I found myself thrown back down the hell pit that is early 2000s, late 90s CGI Canadian television, Canadian children's shows. Uh, but remarkably, this week, or yesterday, I should say, which was Devil's Night, October the 30th, my friends and I went on Rabbit and we watched Monster by Mistake.
Monster by mistake.
Monster by Mistake is a Canadian CGI animated series.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Uh,
don't think it ever hit the States.
I think it might have,
Maybe
but
on.
it's
Oh no, YTV is Canadian. I
oh,
don't
it
know.
says its original network was YTV and VRAC TV, which is the French
Yeah, so
YTV,
that's all
basically.
Quebec shit or Canada.
Yeah,
I don't think it
exactly.
ever
But
wandered
it
its way
started
down.
in '96 and it lasted until 2003.
It was in the vein of reboot, kind of
Yeah,
animation wise.
it's not done by the same studio. It's not done by Mainframe or currently Rainmaker Studios, but uh, it was, I guess it was created by Caterpillar Media, I guess is like the production company.
hmm
Mark Meyerson is the creator. Anyway, the premise of the series is that there's a kid named Warren, uh, and him and his sister get caught up in some magical shenanigans where essentially Warren is tricked into reading a spell book by this otherworldly imp, and he casts a spell on himself that essentially turns him into a monster every time he sneezes. So now this 8-year-old child
Is a
turns
big
into a
blue
blue,
hulking
yeah,
monster.
a big blue monster that looks remarkably like Thanos.
Oh my god, it does.
Yeah, it does.
They stole. Marvel copied the design. It's a
Sorry, it's
lawsuit right
just the
there.
truth. Marvel copied Monster by mistake.
Yeah,
That's just historically accurate.
timeline
But
checks out.
so Warren and his sister Tracy are now trying to decode the spell book so that they could turn Warren back into
Isn't there some
a
shit about a
guy.
crystal too?
Yeah. Now the thing that cast the spell on Warren was a gem called the Jewel of Fenrath. The Jewel of Fenrath is in the possession of this otherworldly imp whom I mentioned, named Gorgul, who comes from the dimension of Fenrath, but on Earth. He's
Mm.
shrunk down to the size of a toy, and he's trapped in a little hamster wheel, essentially, like a little crystal ball. And so he has a big servant who he uses called the Servant, uh, who's a stupid idiot who kind of sounds like, and Gorgul basically compels him to do his bidding. So now Gorgul is after these children, and the children are just kind of trying to avoid Gorgul trying to fuck them up beyond recognition. And
Avoid murder at
also,
all times.
exactly, and also, uh, getting like good with the magic spell book that they have. So Tracy it says on the Monster by Mistake Wikipedia page, it says Tracy is Warren's supportive older sister who practices witchcraft. so she's casting that dark magic.
She's pointing.
And and they have a friend named Johnny the Ghost.
Oh yeah, the fucking New York ghost guy.
Yeah,
Does he have a New York
he's
accent? I can't remember.
no, he just kind of sounds like this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pardon
Super
my cough.
incompetent too.
Oh yeah, he's like a trumpet player. He's like the ghost of a dead trumpet player, and
Yeah.
he's their friend, and he lives in their attic. And as the theme song says, he lives up in the attic. Shh, mom and dad don't know. So
Keep that shit on the low.
exactly. So mom and dad don't know about it. Anyway, this is a show that I used to watch when I was really, really young and homesick from school because it played during the daytime on YTV.
When no one was around to watch it, had one of those shitty time slots.
Exactly. Like, they'd always played at like, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then like throughout the day, they'd play it at like 2:30,
Yeah, it would repeat.
Exactly. The same episode that you watched probably at 5 a.m. if you were up like
Yeah.
that time the way
So
I
you're
was.
just homesick, you watch that episode, you go through the first loop of the shows, and then you go through the second before 5 when all the new shit comes on.
Exactly. And
You're
then
like,
at like 4 or 5 o'clock, you get the zone, and that's all the shit you wanted to
Yeah.
watch. It was usually like, I don't know, one anime and like a Nickelodeon tune and like a Cartoon Network show. They had kind of had like a bit of everything. TV. They had some Cartoon Network stuff. They had some Nick stuff. They had some original stuff. They were kind of they just kind of licensed different shows from their distributors in the United States.
Yeah. I remember
But,
Digimon
yeah.
was almost the same thing in that it was on like the same time slot.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you'd
it's
be
true.
like,
Oh,
oh, Monster by
Digimon did
Mistake,
play
but
in the
Digimon's
afternoon.
after.
Yeah, exactly. I think Digimon opened up the zone a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It was like the first show, and Monster by Mistake is on at like 3:30, and you had to fucking power through Monster by Mistake to watch Digimon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Monster by Mistake's one of those things that like you don't remember until somebody talks about it, but then all the memories come flooding back, and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Just like
And
Brace
I-
Face.
I don't think I realized how much of this show I retained in my memory until I started watching it.
And you start
I was able
quoting
to-
it along with it.
I was able to sing the entire fucking theme song after hearing the first couple of lines. I knew the entire theme song's lyrics. I can remember exactly what like the ending theme sounded like. It's just the instrumental version of the theme song, but I remember like the horn section of that song just vividly, and I just hadn't thought about it until now. And then some of the premises for the episodes, like I remembered them pretty thoroughly. Like the episode that I watched featured Warren's best friend Freddy getting turned into a green soccer ball monster.
Nice.
And then the soccer ball monster proceeds to kind of fuck shit up around the town. So Warren and Tracy try to get it back before their Aunt Dolores, who's a police officer, who's obsessed with catching the monster that Warren turns into, tries to catch the soccer ball and throws it in fucking jail or some shit. So they're like, we gotta save Freddy. He's also a danger to the town, so we gotta put a stop to this bullshit. So it's kind of just like a madcap series of it's almost like one entire chase sequence from like the middle of the episode to the very end, where they're just kind of chasing down the ball, and Warren is transforming from a human back into a monster, and
City escapes
vice versa.
the episode.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like one whole chase sequence till the very end of the episode where they're able to kind of resolve the issue. But and then Johnny the Ghost has to try not to be seen, and they keep scaring this old lady, and the soccer ball fucks up this extremely gray child who is always bullying Warren. And who I believe is voiced by the guy who voiced somebody in Reboot. I don't know if he was Enzo, but who does he play? Let's see. He's definitely he was Carlos in Magic School Bus and Ray and Beyblade.
Oh my god, really?
Ray and Beyblade and Carlos in Magic School Bus.
I forgot
yeah.
Beyblade had a show.
Yeah, Beyblade totally had a show.
Because I never watched it, but I always just was like... I played it with my friends a lot, but I never watched the show.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
almost the opposite of Yu-Gi-Oh! I fucking rarely play with my friends, but would always watch the show.
I feel like I definitely did watch the show, but like on Saturday mornings, I just kind of watched it because I was trying to, you power through it so you can get to the shit you really want to watch.
Yeah.
Usually, well, I guess it was on Vortex. Yeah, probably on Vortex, which is like the programming block on Saturday mornings on YTV. But I think they played it on Vortex, or like they played it right after Vortex ended or something.
Yeah.
But Vortex is where they showed like all like the kid anime and then like SpongeBob. But it was mostly like you get a couple action cartoons, you get one or two comedy cartoons, and then at like 12 o'clock they'd play a new episode of Pokemon. So you watch Pokemon at
Finally.
lunch, and then your mom bitches at you to go outside.
Yeah. Well, actually, because I was living in the States at the time that Pokemon was still like coming out with new episodes. Well, I mean, I guess they still are. But
Yeah.
like when I was in elementary school and it was the hotness.
Mhm,
I remember in the
mhm.
States, the time block would be like 8:30, but my
In the
bedtime.
morning?
No. 8:30 p.m.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, so like
That's
right
pretty
before
late.
bed. And
That's a
well,
tease.
yeah, no, it sucked because my mom was like, bed at 7:30. I was like, but Pokemon's on at 8:30, and all my friends get to watch it. She's like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care what your
So,
friends
yeah,
want.
I don't care what
You're
your
going to
friends
bed.
do. You get in there.
You get to your fucking
Yeah.
bed.
And there were
Yeah.
no smartphones with streaming services, so
Uh, how spoiled we are now in our old.
ah,
But
being able to
no,
decide things for yourself is a gift.
exactly. But and I can watch Monster by Mistake whenever I want.
Yeah, I'll watch
It's
it.
actually all up on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel where they're just uploading a new episode like every week.
Because they were like, fuck it, no one's gonna.
Yeah, it's really really funny. I'll link it in the description. But it's wild to me that this shit is like archived in like HD on YouTube.
Yeah,
They've like upscaled
I
it to
think
1080p.
Reboot
It
is
looks
too,
like
though.
fucking garbage.
Like Reboot, like a bunch of old shows that don't really air anymore. They're pretty easily
I know
accessible
you
on
can
YouTube.
find the entirety of Shadow Raiders which is I really like Shadow Raiders, so that's cool. Shadow Raiders is a very underrated show, and it's by the same studio that did Reboot and Beast Machines. But it's based on a toy line from I think from Jack's Pacific. Was it Jack's Pacific? I think. But the toy line's called War Planets, and they're like the most '90s fucking toys ever. But they're like a bunch of kind of themed elemental little planets that like opened up, and it was kind of like you had like a whole bunch of guns and like a little play area and shit inside each of them, and then you had like your little, I guess they were like 2 to 3 inch figurines, and then you had ships and stuff for them. But yeah, Shadow Raiders is a TV show based off of that toy line, and it's very very good. It has really really nice animation because it's kind of like the furthest quality of like animation that studio was ever able to accomplish at that time.
Yeah.
So it looks really really good. Like it looks like the best possible version of the style that is parented by Reboot and continued in Beast Machines. But it's a very very neat show. But anyway, I think you can find all of it on YouTube. That's good shit. But Monster by Mistake is not good. It's
No, it's not.
very much of its time, but it's also fucking hilarious. It's really funny. I got like some genuine belly laughs out of it. And not because it's clever, but because it's fucking stupid. The animation and character designs are goofy, but like the facial animation itself is actually pretty emotive for what is very cheap CG animation.
Yeah.
But another thing that makes me laugh about Monster by Mistake is just like the completely fucking ridiculous soundtrack, which is all like MIDI tracks. And all these kind of like MIDI music that I didn't think I would remember, but every time I hear like a particular music cue, I remember the entirety of that track. So there's like there'll be like a chase scene, and I'm like, oh shit, this music, what the fuck? I remember like every note of this.
Yeah. Well, music's
really
a really
funny.
crazy thing for that, especially if you heard it when you were a kid and kind of retained it at all, or heard it like a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
different times. Like your brain just is kind of like, click, there it is. I remember that.
That's kind of pretty much
It's
how
like
it
the
was.
Kingdom
I was
Hearts
like, shit.
soundtrack, like the Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
1. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, they're mostly Disney songs, just kind of changed up a bit in terms
No,
for
but like
levels, but like just
the game
simple
music,
and
though,
clean, like one note, and you're like, that's the one. I know what that is.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Actually, that's a really good example. Like it starts off and you're like, oh shit, when you walk
Yeah, yeah.
and you
Or
remember
Dearly
the
Beloved,
lyrics.
just the one piano note, and you're like, oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Dearly Beloved's a beautiful
It's
piece
so
of music.
good.
Yoko Shimomura is just an amazing composer.
Mm-hmm.
All of her shit is very very good. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts has like a standout soundtrack. Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtrack to me is so memorable because I don't know how many times I went over to friends' houses and played Kingdom Hearts 2 and like we'd always restart a new campaign, so like the Twilight Town music, Lazy Afternoons,
Yeah.
and the battle
Oh
music from
god,
Twilight Town
Twilight Town's
completely and
so
utterly
good.
burned into my fucking brain.
Insane in the Rain music actually covered Travis Town, not Twilight Town, but
Yeah, yeah,
Travis
yeah.
Town
No,
recently. It's so
yeah,
good.
Insane in the Rain is a really good YouTube channel. He does just amazing jazz covers. He
Yeah.
did the entire Pokemon Coliseum soundtrack, which is like one of my favorite soundtracks of all
He
time,
did
and it sounds fucking
Alola
awesome.
too.
Yeah,
The
I have
Alola
that album.
region. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a bunch of the Alola songs. They sound beautiful.
So good.
He's really, really, really good.
That's
Him
how
and
I
he,
trick. It's how I trick my girlfriend into listening to video game music. Just put on Insane in the Rain, and it's like, oh, it's just smooth jazz.
yeah, it
This
works
is.
though.
It does.
That's how I'm sure I've tricked a couple of my friends into listening to Insane in the Rain video game music just kind of by playing his jazz stuff.
Yeah.
But his stuff's awesome. Him and there's another really good the Good Note guys. They just do Pokemon music exclusively, but they have two really good Pokemon music albums
Mm.
of just like really really beautiful, kind of like long form, free and smooth jazz covers of Pokemon, and they sound really really good. But and they do like a bunch of kind of like they don't pick the most iconic tracks. They pick the tracks that sound best as jazz tracks.
Yeah, which
Which
is what
is
you should do,
yeah,
honestly. Like,
exactly.
if
If
you're gonna
if
be
you're an
doing a
intelligent
cover,
composer, you're picking the music that works well with those instruments.
yeah,
Like they do Lacunosa Town from Black and White.
yeah, like a
Is
jazz cover of Devil Trigger would not.
yeah,
Well, it
yeah.
might be good actually.
Well,
I
it
I
might
feel like
work, but it's not the best pick.
it would be less recognizable,
Yes, exactly.
but at the
because
same time, I kind of
you'd
want
have
to hear
to
it
you'd have to
now.
rescore completely different instruments.
Yeah,
And the tonality of the instruments used in the original recording isn't the same as the tonality of a jazz band.
yeah,
But yeah, so Monster by Mistake is an extremely extremely funny thing to watch. I would recommend anybody with like the patience to kind of sit through like a 20-minute cartoon from the early 2000s.
that isn't very good.
You know what? It's not good, but you will get some genuine laughs out of it. It's very fun to watch with friends. I would highly recommend you give it a watch. It's like I said, the first couple of episodes, I think like at least 20 or so are up on YouTube, and they just keep uploading more and more as the weeks go on. But it's a very, 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 very extremely, extremely, extremely early 2000s thing.
Would you
And
call it your spookiest thing you've done all week?
it might have been one of the spookiest things I've done all week. It was very
Revisiting
spooky.
the
I mean,
past is terrifying.
yeah, exactly. The early 2000s are terrifying.
Oh boy, were they ever.
There's a ghost in it. Like, come on, it's
Yeah,
perfect.
there's
for
a
this.
ghost.
There's one ghost,
That
and
is,
his name is,
that's
name
the
is Johnny the
curriculum for
Ghost.
spook.
But it's I definitely think it's worth watching. And you know who's really funny? The aunt who's the cop who's obsessed with catching the monster. Her name is Aunt Dolores.
Oh my
Uh,
god, for some reason
she-
my brain just imagined an ant, like the
You see
insect.
giant ant.
Yeah, but not even a
Shit.
giant ant, just like a normal sized ant with a cop hat on. And I got
Oh
really
my God.
confused. My brain's stupid. I am
But-
exhausted.
She's voiced by Jane Eastwood, who's like a pretty. It's like I don't know, like a pretty well-known voice actor. Like she's been in a whole bunch of shit that you probably would recognize. But Jane Eastwood, but she's like a Canadian voice actor.
yeah, I'm
She's
looking it
been
up
she's
now
been
to
in a
see.
whole bunch of stuff. She's in a lot of kind of like bit roles, but then occasionally she does like an kind of like a recognizable role. She's pretty good though. And her voice is very iconic. Like you listen to her as Aunt Dolores and you're like, "Oh shit, I've heard you before."
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's really really funny. But yeah, she's great as Aunt Dolores. That whole character is great because she's just a huge butch lesbian police officer.
Yeah, I
Who's
kind of
kinda-
remember. She's like, "Hey, kids."
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Well, hey!" Like she's
Yeah.
got kind of a raspy voice, and she talks with like I want to say an accent that verges on kind of being like a very Canadian kind of accent.
Yeah,
But
like almost.
she's like she gets goofed on real hard throughout the whole series, and it's just great to watch her like kind of fail. But no, anyway, yeah. So Monster by Mistake, it's great. Watch it. Watch any episode. The ones that I recommend the most though are the soccer ball monster episode and the pizza day
But you
episode.
gotta follow. You gotta follow the arc.
Yeah, well, there is actually story continuity in it though.
Oh no,
So
really?
you can watch it out of order and find it enjoyable, but there is genuine continuity to some of the story.
All right,
It's not
we're turning
it's not
we're turning this
entirely
podcast
episodic.
into a Monster by Mistake lore podcast
Yeah,
now.
the Monster by Mistake lore podcast. Hi, welcome. Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm just a kid like you.
Here's
Or
Matt
I was
Pat.
until I found, or I was until I found Monster by Mistake on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, Monster by Mistake, very much a thing of its time. I also watched the third episode of Titans, as I previously mentioned. This episode was titled Origins, and it kind of tells the story, I guess, of how Raven met up with Starfire, and then how Starfire and Raven together met up with Dick Grayson for the first time. And also, you do get to see a little bit more of Beast Boy, but they're really keeping Beast Boy on the side right now, which is interesting. I want to see how they introduce him.
Well,
in.
I said last time, I feel it's almost a budget thing.
It might be for these first couple episodes, but he's like they've already kind of started seeding his relationship with Raven, which is cool. What happens is the episode opens up with kind of the story flashing back to what happened in the previous episode where Dove was thrown off of the roof by the nuclear family, and it just kind of and the nuclear family kidnapped Raven. So it shows Dick Grayson and Hawk in the hospital looking over a Dove who's alive but injured pretty seriously. And Dick decides to go and pursue the nuclear family and try and get Raven back. But before he can save her, Starfire, who has come to America from Eastern Europe from the first episode, is looking for Raven because she knows that before she lost her memory, she was, for some reason, trying to find Raven. So she goes and
It's
actually
like the only
does...
thing she remembers.
Yeah, exactly. The only
Okay,
thing she remembers is she wanted to find Raven. So the first thing she asked after she fucking destroys the dad from the nuclear family and fucking blows him up, like just fucking burns his ass with fire like to a fucking crisp. And then
Extra well done.
Exactly. Oh yeah, like this is medium to well done. Very crispy. But she saves Raven and gets her into the car and says, "Okay, now do you know who the hell I am?" And she's like, "I've never seen you in my entire life." And she's like, "Damn it."
Fuck.
But Raven figures she's safer with Starfire, who just kind of saved her ass,
Yeah.
than with this family of psychotic super murderers. So they drive off and they kind of are being tracked down by Dick, because Dick kind of goes to the scene where the nuclear family was fucked up, and then from there kind of he looks at the security footage to track down Starfire, and then he tracks down Starfire at a roller rink. And he confronts her, and at that roller rink, Raven goes to play an arcade game, and as she's playing, she goes to play pinball, and as she's playing pinball, Beast Boy kind of comes up and starts giving her tips. They hit it off for a little bit, but then Dick comes and tries to talk to Raven. Raven doesn't want to fucking talk to him because she's still pissed and doesn't trust him because she thought he was going to abandon her at Hawk and Dove's. So it's just kind of about
Robin
building
still
relationships.
being,
Yeah,
edgelord?
he's still kind of like people keep making comments about how violent he is.
Okay, yeah.
Like he's just getting like it's clear that even some of the more violent fighters aren't as fucked up as him. Like Starfire season five, she's like, dude, what the fuck?
You're being a real Bakugo.
Exactly. Yeah, you're being a real mean Naruto. But yeah, no, it's really really interesting kind of setup to see how these characters start developing relationships with one another, and you also see in between all of this an extended flashback of what happened to Dick when he was first adopted by Bruce Wayne. So it kind of starts out with you see Dick at like the police station, or I guess maybe is I don't know if it's like a foster care office or something, but he's being informed that Bruce Wayne has adopted him. He shows up at Wayne Manor, goes to his room. He sees it's like decked out with a whole bunch of shit that I guess like Bruce Wayne assumed he would want, but he's not fucking into it. So he kind of just makes a break for it, jumps the fuck out the window, uses his
Jesus.
acrobat skills to swing onto a fucking tree, and then just kind of jumps away and fucks off.
Parkour.
But exactly, he parkours his ass out of that fucking door. But
If you're gonna run away from home, might as well do it with style.
exactly. But Wayne brings him back. So he does go back, and then he steals one of Bruce Wayne's cars and takes it for a joyride. And then he's caught by the cops, and the police scold him,
Yeah.
and then he just begrudgingly returns to the mansion. It's clear that he doesn't feel like he wants anybody. He tells the police officer that he wants to fucking kill the people that he thinks put a hit on his parents.
Yeah.
And the police officer's like, dude, you're like a 12-year-old boy. You're not gonna fucking go and murder somebody, and I'm not gonna let you do that. But
You
he's
need to calm
clearly
down right now, Dick.
exactly like he's clearly got a lot of anger, and he's trying his best just to kind of ignore talking about it and talking about his grief, and focusing his energy and his mental energy on like the idea of getting revenge. But you kind of see, I guess, yeah, just kind of the origins of what he's been up to, and why he's kind of why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. You don't see anything of Bruce, although he does speak to Alfred on the phone. But you see nothing of Bruce throughout the episode except for like his silhouette looking out the window as he sees Dick running away. But they're really teasing kind of like what their Batman is going to be. Like they haven't shown the bat suit. They haven't shown.
Do they have the rights to show the bat suit?
They
I
100%
assume so,
are
yeah.
going. Batman and Bruce Wayne are 100% going to feature in the show at some point,
Okay.
because this is kind of like a concerted, I think, effort on their part to start bringing more mainstream major DC characters to their TV properties, because for a long time it's been like you can get this like D-list or B-list character, right?
Yeah.
With the exception of Smallville, where they did have like Aquaman and Cyborg, and they had a version of Flash. Like they had these characters kind of, but not really. Whereas now in the Arrowverse, you're seeing them. They're getting Batwoman. Superman is in Supergirl, and he features pretty heavily in a lot of the stories now in terms of just kind of like his presence. Martian Manhunter is a main character in Supergirl. Flash has his own TV show, which is something that I don't think would have happened unless the Arrow writers hadn't like pretty much written Barry Allen into the show and then said, well, now that we have Barry Allen, you have to let us do the Flash. So that whole thing, but they're making an effort to bring like the main DC characters to TV. And I think that their best way to do it is to start introducing them through shows like Titans, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and kind of bring them in as side characters they can have show up to do a story with. But
I mean, I feel like Netflix is just the way DC movies have been going, and we talked about it a bit last week of how or was it the week before?
I think it
don't
was the
remember,
first week
but,
that we were doing in the prototype episode.
Yeah, but yeah, like DC seems to be doing Netflix better than movies,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like maybe tonally, story-wise, DC's better fit for Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. For like that streaming format.
Yeah, where it's
I would
episodic
agree.
instead of like having to shove a story in a 2-hour movie and then trying to do what MCU is doing, but doing it not so great.
Exactly. It's weird because I don't know what it is about DC's properties that don't translate super well to movies sometimes, but there are good DC movies. I mean, the animated DC universe that they've been doing for like the past couple years, it started with the Flashpoint Paradox, which is like the first movie in this kind of new line of DC movies.
hmm
And the latest one was Death of Superman, which was pretty good. They've kind of built their own animated movie universe with like consistent characters, voice actors, like a consistent art style that's very reminiscent of the art style of Young Justice. Um, and those have been doing very well. Like they're well enjoyed, I think, by most of the DC fandom, including myself. But I feel like if those movies were translated into live action movies, they'd work perfectly well as their own cinematic universe. Because the way they've done it is they have, they start with a Flash movie, they go into and they do Flashpoint first, which establishes the new universe that is introduced in Justice League War, where they introduce the whole Justice League, and then from the whole Justice League they do a couple of solo movies. So they do, a couple of Batman movies with where they kind of each, with each new Batman movie introduce a new Batman character. So the first one they introduce Damian, who's the Robin, who's his son,
Yeah.
and then they introduce Batwoman and Batwing, and just a whole bunch of those kind of characters in. And then because Damien's there, they can do Teen Titans. So they've done two. Have they done two or three Teen Titans movies? They've done a couple of. I think they've done two. They've done Teen Titans versus. They've done Titans versus Justice League, which is pretty good, and they did Judas Contract, which is actually really good. So, oh, excuse me.
Whoa.
Yeah, big coughs. It's big coughs hours.
The season.
Yeah, exactly. Big rain hours, big coughs hours. But yeah, they've done a pretty good job, I think, with all of that stuff so far. And they've done a Justice League Dark movie. They've done a couple of Solar Superman movies that are really good. They did a Justice League movie that featured more, heavily around Aquaman, and it was all right. Like they've done a good job, I think, kind of dealing with these characters and trying to get them into like a coherent movie universe. So it's a pity that the actual theatrical films weren't able to do the same thing. But I'm thinking if they're ever going to give it the old college try again, they might just kind of go and do big budget animated movies. But I think that'll depend on the success of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie from Sony.
Yeah.
Because if that does well, then the potential for them to do Warner Animation Group distributed animated DC movies in the theater, that whole thing will open up.
Yeah, it will.
I think
down a couple of doors.
Exactly, big budget CG animated, DC or big budget CG animated Batman movie, for instance, which I think would 100% gel with people. I people would be just as hyped to watch that as they would to watch a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if DC's got Batman, Marvel's got Spider-Man. They can make money off those characters infinitely for the rest of their goddamn careers and never make stories with other characters ever again, and still make just as much money. So, there's an opportunity there, I think, to do a big budget CG animated Batman movie or something, and for that to be the door to another movie universe.
Yeah.
But until Into the Spider-Verse comes out, I think it remains to be seen whether or not that's an option for them. Until then, though,
Spider-Verse is gonna do great, honestly.
Yeah, that movie is gonna do gangbusters. There's no way it's not gonna make money. It's fucking Spider-Man is the most popular superhero in the whole world, even more so than Batman.
Yeah,
Batman is a very close second, but Spider-Man to me, and I'm not even the biggest Spider-Man fan in the world, but I do really like Spider-Man.
Yeah, no,
just goes to show you that
I don't know anyone who doesn't like Spider-Man. That's the thing.
Exactly. I don't have to be a huge fan of Spider-Man to love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like everybody fucking loves Spider-Man. That's just kind of who Spider-Man is. He's a very likable character. And whether it's Peter Parker, Miles Morales, any version of Spider-Man, people just fucking love Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, it's got the name Spider-Man on it, so people are gonna be like, "Yep, I know that. I like that."
Yeah, they're gonna be 100% in on it.
Story that everyone pretty much knows. I mean, there's with comic books, of course, there's millions of different unfollowable timelines that contradict each other, or
But that's also the advantage of making new material for those characters, right? Because then you're not bound by...
You can just retcon the stupid stuff.
Exactly. You can just tell your own fucking story and say it's another universe,
Mm-hmm.
That's the advantage of multiverse storytelling or multiversal storytelling in comics.
Yeah.
You can, there's room to tell more than just one kind of story with these characters.
And then when you've run out of ideas, you just make an interdimensional portal and then boom.
Yeah, and then you do a crossover. Exactly. Which is what this Spider-Man movie is going to be, and they're
Yeah.
going to introduce a whole bunch of kind of interesting spider characters,
I
which
can't
is
believe
really, really
Spider-Ham's
cool.
in there.
I can't believe that Penny Parker is in there because she is like,
Wait, is she?
yeah, Penny Parker is the little Spider-Man who's a like a little Japanese schoolgirl.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I call her the Evangelion Spider-Man because her version of Spider-Man is based on Evangelion, where her parents were like kind of like working for. I think they were Shield agents, but Shield is kind of like Nerve in
Yeah.
this universe, and she was like. She's kind of like Shinji Ikari, and she pilots the spider
Oh
armor,
my
and the
god,
spider
she's
armor
got
is
spider
kind of like an
armor.
Ava.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but she's in Into the Spider Verse, and she's really really cool.
See, I did not know she was into
She was
Spider.
she was also created by Gerard Way. So
Oh, really?
yeah, she Edge of Spider Verse #5, which is the comic she debuted in, was written by Gerard. So yeah, she's very cool.
Toss
It's
that
actually
girl into a mech now.
and looping back to Titans, Gerard Way's version of the Doom Patrol are going to premiere in the next episode. So I'm excited to see what Doom Patrol is going to be like because they've got they're going to get their own TV show
Yeah.
after Titans is done, and this next episode of Titans is going to introduce us to them. So it remains to be
So I
seen
assume
whether or
that's
not
already
they're going
like
to be
in
cool.
filming.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, like Doom Titans is I think done production.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol is, starting production now.
Okay.
I've seen some, but like it's gonna have Robot Man, Phantom Lady. Is it Robot? It's Robot Man, Elastigirl, Negative Man, and I
Negative
think
man.
yeah, Negative Man.
What's his
He's got
superpower? I'm just pissed off all the time. Everything sucks.
he's got the power to astrally project his soul out of his body.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. Actually, it's a good power. Robot Man is a robot with human
Yeah.
human intelligence and extra human strength. And Elastigirl can morph and shape and grow her body and shrink it and do a whole bunch of shit like that. So yeah, those are pretty cool characters. But they're going to be premiering next week. That's the team that Beast Boy is originally from. Changeling, he was originally called.
That's
or
a
no,
terrible name.
Yeah, he was from the Doom Patrol, and then he joined the Teen Titans afterwards. So maybe they're going to do that. Maybe that's why they've been waiting to properly introduce Beast Boy. Maybe he's a member of the Doom Patrol. But that would be really, really cool. I mean, they even did that in the animated Teen Titans series, where in the first, not the first episode, but the episode where they talk about how the Titans met, you see that Beast Boy was a member of the Doom Patrol before he joined the Teen Titans.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, there's like a whole, there's like a whole season of the show, the last season of the show.
Oh, that's why I don't remember
It's about Beast Boy, and they talk about his relationship with the other members of the Doom Patrol. I think their Doom Patrol was Elastigirl, Robot Man, Phantom Lady, Negative Man, Mento, and Beast Boy. But and Mento is like their leader. He was like a sidekick. But yeah, no, they even did that in the animated Titans series. So that's a pretty crucial part of Beast Boy's origin within the comics and I guess within known Titans media. So maybe they're waiting to introduce him in that episode, which is going to be cool. But yeah, the Doom Patrol are rad. They're really cool characters. The latest run of the Doom Patrol comic was written by Gerard Way. And it's really, really good. Like it's a completely just spectacular comic book. It's really, really amazing. So I'm just excited to see what they do with that, and hopefully it's really, really good. And also, Robot Man is being voiced by Brendan Fraser, which is just cool because I like Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of what I did. I watched Monster by Mistake. I watched Doom Patrol, and that's all my week, I think, for up until now.
Up until now.
Yeah, up
Gonna need
until
a
now.
different week.
Yeah.
Next week. Gonna have to get a whole new week.
Oh god, it's such a hassle. I have to go to the week
Yeah,
store.
go to the week store.
I have
Hopefully
to
the
wait.
weeks are on
I have
sale.
to wait in line for 3 hours. Yeah, I have to just hope to God that shit's on sale. If not, I have to dig around the newspaper for a week coupon.
And you got the weed
Sucks.
lines right in front of the door, so you gotta like pass through, and people are like, "You can't cut," and you're like,
Yeah,
"No,
yeah.
but I'm just trying to go get a week."
Exactly, and they say a weed, get in line.
Get in line for a
Ridiculous.
weed.
It's really inconvenient that the week store and the weed store are right next to
It's
each
the worst.
It's just not ergonomic.
And everyone just thinks you're going in to get weed, and you're like, "No, I'm over. It's like
I can get weed. I can get weed on my own. I don't need.
I didn't need the
illegally.
government before.
Yeah, I don't need it now. Damn it! I just
All
need
you
a
people in
goddamn
line
week.
are narcs.
I'm gonna fucking say that if I ever see a line at the weed store. I'm just gonna say everybody in this
Just
line's a
walk
narc.
by like fucking narc.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my week. What was your week like, Ben?
My week. I'm super tired today, so there's gonna be a lot of remembering things probably a little late. But my
You gotta
week
get the gears
was,
turning.
yeah. I don't know why I'm so exhausted. I should have got to go get a Red Bull before we started this, but whatever. I'll just drink my 8th cup of coffee. Fucking.
If it
Anyway.
works, it works.
Yeah, it's a substitute. Doesn't have that metal medicine taste though, so missing out on that. My week was mostly. When did Red Dead 2 come out? Last Friday? Yeah, last Friday. So what I did, because I work downtown and ride my bike and stuff, was as soon as the stores open, went to see how the lines were. Just went, fuck that. And just kept working for a bit. Then around 2 o'clock, I was like, all right, I'm going to go check again, see if the lines are all right in between 2 deliveries. So I go, Best Buy, there's no one, not a line, nothing. There's one dude buying the PS4 bundle, and I was like, all right, cool. So I got Red Dead Redemption 2, played the fuck out of that. It is really good, beautiful. The physics engine is ridiculous. It really shows everyone who worked 100-hour weeks. I applaud you because your work paid off. Now, I just think your work needs to chill the fuck out because that's ridiculous. Like, I would have preferred a delay.
Now you just need to be properly compensated for working 100 hours.
Like, I feel like a delay would have been better.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
totally.
a delay with same results.
To ensure the health and quality of the
man, because that's how you kill people. That's literally how you kill people.
Straight up is. People die from overwork all the fucking time.
Maybe not 100% die, but they on the inside, their soul is just crushed. But yeah, no, the physics in the snow and shit is like super impressive. The bugs are super hilarious too, because that physics engine, like, it's pretty good, but when it goes wrong, yeah, it goes pretty wrong. Like, I fell off the side of a rock, and my character just kind of started doing the Skyrim breakdance where you start floating into the air, and then you fell back down. And I was like, all right, let's chill out there. It was
that's fucking good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Had myself quite a giggle.
Oh boy.
I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to because I've been busy at home also, just doing things. But I got to Valentine, so the first town like after the snowstorm and stuff, and I just kind of fucked around in that town for a bit, did some crimes. A really funny thing dawned on me. Like, I was playing pretty straight, like being a good guy for a bit. Like the first 2 hours, and then I was like, this is a cowboy game about being a cowboy and robbing people. So I fucking heel turned super hard and just started murdering people for no reason.
Black hat.
There's one guy that's like, I saw you back in that town that you're running away from. I'm gonna go tell the law. And you chase him down, and he's like hanging off a cliff. And I saved him, but this is when the heel turn occurred. So, like, I saved him. He's like, I won't tell no one. I was like, all right, yeah. He starts riding away. I was like, no, you know what? Fuck this. Just shot him in the back. It was great. Super satisfying to just heel turn on a dime.
That's the joy of kind of playing in a Western setting, because as problematic as it can potentially get.
Yeah.
At the very least, you can just kind of enjoy your little power fantasy.
Yeah, so that was fun. I'm probably after the podcast gonna either hop back on that or what's it called? Deltarune. I might hop back on Deltarune, which we'll get more into after
we will
I talk about Castlevania.
That shit is fresh, but yes, let's hear about Castlevania.
Castlevania season
I want to listen
2
to this.
Is goddamn amazing.
Yeah.
They, like, I was super grateful because the recap they do at the beginning is actually super helpful.
Okay.
Because I saw season 1 as soon as it came out, binged the
Exactly.
4 episodes.
That's what I did too.
Yeah, and yeah, it just the recap was super helpful because I didn't want to have to go back and watch those 4 episodes. Um, the story picks off pretty much where it left off. You got Sypha who joined the crew and stuff,
And
and
Alucard.
Alucard. So they get into some shenanigans in the town. Meanwhile, Dracula's baby pissing rage about his dead wife and wants to end all humanity. Um, since you're gonna watch it, I guess we can do more of a in-depth story
Yeah.
thing
Once I
next
get
week because I
through
don't
it.
want to spoil anything because it's pretty good. Um, Carmilla, Hector, and Isaac. Those are top 3 favorite characters,
Oh boy.
especially Carmilla.
I've heard Carmilla is very cool.
Oh, she's rad. I really like her. She does a thing with Hector that I was like, "Oh, you dirty bitch! I love it."
Okay, I want
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
trying.
to
I'm like
know.
tiptoeing so that I don't spoil too much shit. But yeah, no, highly recommend it. We'll talk more about it, I guess, next week if you've watched it all. It's only 8 episodes and they're all like 25 minutes, so it's like me and the missus and just blew through it in like 2 days. Um, episode 7, I think. There's a fight scene that is just that's where the budget went. You can just tell the amount of animations in that episode. I think they said something like there's 600 something scenes, which is over double the standard episode, which only has 300. It super shows. The fight scene is amazing. You've got I think it's Vampire Slayer playing in the background. The da 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 da
Oh,
da
yeah.
da.
Vampire Slayer. Yeah.
You got that playing in the background, and it's just like I was sitting there slack-jawed at how amazing it looked and how well it came together. So yeah, cannot recommend that
really
enough.
exciting. Damn. Well, I'm
Super
hyped
stoked
for
to talk
that.
about more in-depth story things with you.
I really really liked that first season immensely. I thought it was just what a quality production to come out of what was potentially
An
going to be
animation
a movie
studio
at some
in
point.
Texas.
Yeah,
Just
it's Frederator, isn't it?
it's not Frederator did do something, but the actual animation studio is hold on, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Frederator Studio acquired blah blah blah. Warren Ellis. There.
He's the writer, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, all of them. I can't seem to find it, but there was a couple other animation studios, I think. Powerhouse Animation.
Oh, Powerhouse. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, what a it was originally a screenplay that Warren Ellis wrote on commission by Konami for a Castlevania movie, and they were gonna do like a trilogy of movies apparently, but they decided to turn it into animation instead after like spending over a decade in development hell. So
Yeah.
this is almost word for word that very original Warren Ellis script from like years ago, but set to an animation
Hmm.
as opposed to a
Live
live
action.
action film.
Which,
But
thank God.
it's yeah. Honestly, I think they saved themselves big time by doing it animated, and not only animated, but they didn't do CGI animation. They went straight up 2D, hand drawn, imitating a hand drawn animated
Yeah,
style that's reminiscent of anime. It looks very very good.
it is top tier, honestly.
The voice cast is excellent. I think
It's
Richard Armitage.
it's one of the best things on Netflix right now for sure.
Oh yeah, for without a question. In terms of Netflix original animated series, it's in like it's almost at the very top.
Yeah.
I I hesitate to say that even some of the like I have mixed feelings about Voltron, Legendary Defender. There's stuff about it.
The new one.
There's stuff about it that's really really good, and there's like stuff about it that I absolutely despise.
Just eye roll.
Yeah, no, yeah, and the stuff that makes me eye roll is like I'm sure it's petty if I talk about it, so I'm not going to get into it. But I really, really do just genuinely enjoy um, the like the tone, the style, the storytelling, the characters of Castlevania. Like I enjoy that series. I enjoy its aesthetic of corny gothic
I
horror
like
mixed with genuine
yeah.
dark fantasy.
Yeah. I really like the character interactions too. How Trevor is kind of the like washed up hero, snarky. You got
Yeah, he's kind of an
Sypha.
asshole.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole. You got Alucard, who's just like smart and is like, I'm gonna kill my dad. I don't like that's what's happening. You got Sypha, who's there to kind of be like, you're both being fucking assholes. Um, Shouts out to Sypha for carrying the team.
Yeah, Sypha's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, way to make Sypha awesome.
Yeah. Good. Congratulations.
Because I don't know if you've ever played Dracula's Curse, but like,
Nope.
Sypha is not the best character to play as in that game. She's just not fun to play as a lot of the time. She's kind of the worst
her.
Exactly. They fixed her by making her into a proper character.
Yeah.
And I mean, that alongside Trevor, like, this is just kind of an adaptation of Dracula's Curse, but Dracula's Curse, in all honesty, works the best as a work to adapt.
Well, isn't it kind of a mix of Dracula's Curse and Symphony of the Night?
Yeah, it's got a bit of. I think it's implied that Alucard's origin story is the origin of Symphony of the Night.
Because there's a scene in which Dracula's like, "You tried to kill me once, and that didn't fucking work out." So I think that might be a callback.
I think that is, yeah, that would make sense. And then this is kind of like, okay, so Alucard tried to fuck up Dracula, he was punished, and now he's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That's
punished Alucard.
Yeah. Punished Alucard.
Throw
I was
a
just
fucking eye patch on him.
Say, punished Alucard. But yeah, so he's about to go and fuck his dad up again. It definitely is just a good choice of game to adapt in terms of story, because you have that core trio of characters.
Yeah, and you don't need to follow any one game storyline, really. You can just fucking, you got your own script, just go for it. Just go.
Exactly, and it's a Warren Ellis script, so it's enjoyable and kind of
the only good thing to come out of Konami in years.
It's tongue in cheek, it's cynical, it's funny, but it's got heart to it.
Tones.
Yeah, and it's crude and lowbrow at times in the best kind of way.
Yeah.
Like I really do enjoy it. I mean, you're introduced by Trevor in the first season.
As a drunken
be a drunken
brawler.
fucking loser who gets kicked in the fucking nuts. Like that's a very Warren Ellis protagonist.
But yeah, if you liked season 1, you're gonna fucking love season 2.
I'm excited. I cannot wait to watch that shit.
Again, episode 7, you'll know. You'll just know exactly what scene I'm talking about, even if you don't.
Okay.
It's only 8 episodes, so I assume you'll be able to finish it.
100% will be. Yeah.
By next week.
I'm gonna get to. I have my all my TV to catch up on. I think I might just do that tonight, though.
Yeah, you super could.
I think I'm going to.
It took us 2 days. Just we didn't start it in the morning. It was just like, oh yeah, start it with supper and then watch a couple episodes till bed.
That's good. Yeah, I could totally do that.
So we polished that off. That was, again, so fucking good. I can't get over it. Like I was scared they were gonna somehow ruin it, but they made it better. Because season 1 was short, right? So like I was just. It
was very brief. It kind of was like watching the first movie in a trilogy.
Yeah, it was like a pilot, but like the entire season was a pilot.
Yeah.
So did that. The missus also got me to start watching Full Metal Alchemist for the first time.
Oh, the original anime or Brotherhood?
Original anime.
Ooh, I have words for that. Continue. Yeah. I don't like the original Full Metal Alchemist anime.
Fair enough.
I think it's artistically an achievement in animation.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Narratively, it's like, well, it's quite honestly, it's like bad fan fiction because it doesn't follow the story of the manga, which is a very meticulous and well planned narrative, where like every kind of gear turns to turn another gear.
Yeah,
But
but
this is kind of like
it's like
all those gears were
sloppily
turning,
written.
and then somebody stuck a fucking screwdriver in those gears, jammed them all up, and then the
And
clock
left one of them spinning at a time.
and then the clock didn't work anymore, so they thought, we'll put our own gears in. They'll turn. Gears turn, right? And they don't fucking turn.
They got a fucking hamster in a cage to start running the gears.
Yeah, exactly. So but anyway, yeah. What do you think of it so far?
So far we're not that far in. I think we're like maybe 10 episodes in.
Okay.
We got past the classic dog episode.
Yeah. That, I mean, the way that the first anime adapted that story is better than the way Brotherhood adapts that.
Okay. So Brotherhood's just a reamp?
Brotherhood is an adaptation of the manga.
Okay.
Brotherhood is just a straight adaptation of the story of the manga.
All right.
The original Full Metal Alchemist anime is, after a certain point, just a completely original story with little to nothing to do with the rest of the manga story.
So is it like that thing where the anime catches up to the manga and then goes past the manga, and then the anime is like
instead of doing filler episodes, they did an entire filler series.
Yeah, okay.
Except the filler is bad because it just kind of starts infringing on
filler is rarely good.
The actual story. Yeah, there's very few good filler arcs in any anime, which is why I'm kind of like a proponent of doing anime adaptations only long after you started the manga.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm kind of worried about from Macadamia.
I'm not worried about that for Macadamia because Macadamia is pretty far. Like, the manga is pretty far right now.
Yeah, but the seasons are catching up, aren't they? Because
the seasons are catching up, but they're also doing it as seasons.
Yeah,
they're not doing weekly episodes with like holiday breaks, which is, I think, as they pause between seasons of TV.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of time for the animation and manga to catch up.
Yeah,
which is what I like about this. Which is a thing that, maybe if you are going to do close adaptations, you do a season formula.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, it's the thing that almost in a sense fucked over Attack on Titan, because they didn't want to make filler, and they also caught up to the manga really, really quickly.
Yeah, way too quick. We don't got to worry about that for JoJo, though.
No, exactly. I mean, JoJo, they're just going to keep doing season by season as they can.
Yeah, and there's no way they're going to catch up.
Good. JoJo has been very fucking good so far. Like, part 5 has been incredible.
I'm still chipping away at part 4.
You're getting through it.
Yeah, slow. There's just too many things to watch. What
episode are you at now?
Honestly, I think since the first time we talked about it, I watched like 2 episodes, so like maybe 18 now.
Okay. Did you get to the guy whose stand is a radio tower?
No, not yet.
Or it's a telephone tower, I should say, like a telephone power line.
Not yet.
His stand is a power line. It's called Superfly.
Oh man, the fucking stand names this season. Okay, Pearl Jam is a really dope fucking stand.
Pearl Jam is the best stand in the series.
I feel like I feel like we already gushed about this, but yeah, Pearl Jam is fucking rad.
It's very helpful.
It was such a goddamn plot twist too, because I was like, oh, what, this evil ass? Oh no, he's a nice guy. Cool.
It can cure your diarrhea tummy really quickly.
I need some of that. Give me some of that Pearl Jam.
That is a very useful stand. But yeah, no, that's a really, really good power, actually, just to kind of, hey, rejuvenates your fucking entire body and health
fix
and makes
all
you
the
well.
broken.
Like, that's fucking great. So yeah, you're watching 03 FMA.
Yeah. So far it's all right. Alphonse's voice actor, I really liked that they made little child baby voice in giant armor.
Yes, it would have stuck to do it otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's the best touch, honestly, so far. That I just like every time Alphonse speaks, I'm like, yes.
The one thing I can say about 03 FMA also that I really admire is without 03 FMA, we wouldn't have the cast for FMA, and the voice cast is mostly the same in Brotherhood. Like, they just kind of redubbed it with all the same English voice actors, and with the exception of Alphonse, because he's not a little child boy anymore. so they got another person to play Alphonse. But Alphonse is perfectly fine in Brotherhood. He sounds great. But yeah, no, there's a lot about O3 FMA that's very influential to, like, I want to say a lot of people of our generation's anime fandom.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because,
like I always heard about Full Metal Alchemist and stuff, and like I think I might have caught an episode or two when I was younger, but it was just
on like Bionics or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
But I was too on that Dragon Ball Z hype train to follow.
That's fair. I mean, when FMA was airing the original FMA or O3 FMA on TV, I was really into it, but and it was my introduction to FMA, but my affection for it died the second that I guess the second that I realized that the story of the manga was like
way better,
infinitely better, like so much more satisfying with so many more likable characters that you never get in the O3 series, versus like some of the really dismal, shitty, uninspired original characters the O3 series kind of crapped out into the story.
Yeah.
But like or like stuff like who the homunculus really are and their reason for existing being less fucking stupid in the Brotherhood series.
Really,
like just kind of stuff like
fixing all that dumb shit really helps.
Yeah, exactly. Like realizing that all the shit that I thought these things were, they're not actually that. What they actually are is a lot more central and crucial to the plot and characters than I was led to believe previously. Or like the stakes become a lot bigger in Brotherhood.
Okay.
But they still remain just as personal. Because like I won't give it away, but
yeah,
the stakes are very personal in O3 FMA because of their father's relationship to the series' antagonist.
Okay.
But the very same relationship between their father and the series' antagonist in Brotherhood is what makes those stakes just as personal. So the intimacy of that conflict still exists, but the scale and I guess like the scope of damage that villain is going to cause by what they do is so much grander and so much more wild and violent and just horrific. Although another thing O3 FMA has is one of the greatest anime openings, which is their
I'm
the final
so
Fullmetal
annoyed
Alchemist
of
opening.
the first FMA.
It's what's that first one? It's
da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that's pretty opening. But it has Rewrite by AKG, Asian Kung Fu Generation, who are one of my favorite bands of all time. I have all like their entire discography. I've listened to like all of it back to front dozens of times. They have a song from their first album, Solfa, called Rewrite, and it is used as the final opening for FMA 03. And apart from being accompanied with a beautiful piece of animation, like just really, really good OP animation,
it's not OVA. Jesus, wow.
Yeah, just a beautifully animated OP set to that song, editing the song so correctly as to fit an opening. It's like a perfect confluence of imagery, music, and editing and animation. It's a really stellar OP.
I'll see when I get there. I
yeah,
guess.
you will. I think
like
it's
this
going
first
to hype
one,
you the fuck up.
the first arc is like, I don't like the song.
Yeah, it's all right.
I don't know.
It'll
but I've also been spoiled with Stand Up and like,
Stand Proud, which is really
Stand Proud, Stand Up. What?
The JoJo music is almost untouchable though.
I'm so sleepy.
I mean, did you even hear the Part 5 opening yet?
Oh man, I've been listening to it. Like there's a playlist on Spotify that's just all the JoJo openings and credit songs, good. And I just fucking it's so good.
It's really, really good. But so O3 FMA. Well, I hope you get something out of it, because I don't want you to feel like you're wasting your time just based on my opinion.
So far, I'm not wasting my time. I don't feel like
that's
I am.
Good.
I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the character development so far.
I think maybe it's a good thing that you're watching the O3 version before you watch Brotherhood.
Yeah. Well, it's
because
like
then when you watch Brotherhood, you will see just how much better it is.
It's like if you show someone the Rebuild series before you show them Evangelion.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't do that.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point of comparison. So it's good you're watching it first.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope you get something out of it because I say if you watch Brotherhood first, you have no reason to watch O3 FMA. But if you watch O3 FMA, it gives you all the more reason to watch Brotherhood, and I think that's a powerful motivating factor. And a lot of people's love of Brotherhood is just seeing how good it is as
How
compared
much
to
better,
O3.
yeah.
Well, not just how much better, but like what about it that is different that makes it better.
Yeah. All right.
You know, like it's really the devil is in the details with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
This show, because the writing of the manga was meticulous and planned, very meticulously planned. And like I said, almost like a clock, it was mechanical. This gear is turning to serve the turning of another gear, so that this gear can turn, so that this gear can turn, so that you can have a cuckoo clock that functions.
Mm-hmm.
And the O3 FMA is kind of like they disassembled the clock midway through the hour before the bird could pop out of the cuckoo clock, and then they tried to put it back together, but when the bird pops out, it's kind of all limp and boring, and nobody likes it. But I do hope
staple the dead bird to this cuckoo clock. Yeah,
it's not even a cuckoo clock.
It smells terrible.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you'll enjoy Brotherhood afterwards.
Speaking of things that smell terrible,
yes,
I started Zombieland Saga.
Okay, I don't know anything about Zombieland Saga, so
right.
I'd like to have this explained to me.
So, do you like zombie girls?
I like monster girls.
You like monster girls? All right. Do you like idol shows?
No, unless okay. Does Precure count as an idol show? I don't. I think Precure is a magical
series. So
I don't think it counts.
Maybe it's magical girl idols.
The only idol show that I like is Review Starlight, which I'm currently watching.
Okay, well, I watched episode 1 of Zombieland. Well, like half of episode 1 because I was watching it, and then we started the podcast.
Okay.
So far, pretty fucking good in terms of an idol show.
Okay.
It's not really any kind of I never really watched any idol shows. I've seen episodes of some and it's just been like, eh. But Mother's Basement recommended this.
All right. So you're watching it on recommendation.
Yeah. In a recent Halloween video he did.
Okay.
Titled The Magic of Monster Girls. And so far it's really good. It is straight up just zombie girl idols. And they're pretty cute and it's pretty enjoyable so far. Again, like halfway through the episode, so not too much to say about it. But
are the designs very idly? Are they like zombie idols or are they?
Hold on, I'll send you a thing real quick.
All right, I want to see.
Because they are green-skinned, undeniably dead zombie girls.
Okay, let me Zombieland Saga. I see it whenever I go on my sites. I see it kind of show up. Yeah, that's true. They're definitely idly.
Yeah, they are idly, but they are also very clearly zombies.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's produced by Mappa. Oh, I like Mappa. I like a lot of Mappa's work. They just did a series that I was really, really fond of just recently called Inuyashiki, which was an amazing show. And they also did Yuri on.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
They're doing Banana Fish currently too, which I'm watching and very enjoying. But no, Mappa have put out a lot of work that I respect. They did Garo as well, the Garo anime, Garo Fishing Line, and Garo and Garo Carved Seal of Flame. Garo is very, very cool. But okay. Oh, and they did Tiger and Bunny as well.
Tiger and Bunny?
No, not Tiger and Bunny. Tiger and Bunny was actually by. That's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, and they did Kakegurui. Okay, I know Kakegurui. I kind of like that series a little bit. But
so yeah, okay, I'll come back with more on that next week for sure. I just wanted to put it out there that I have started that.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I'd like to try it out.
So far, it's pretty cute.
And I mean, I have a my anime list that I've just kind of been going through lately. I'm watching a whole bunch of stuff
never-ending list that
seasonally.
just keeps getting fucking piled up every season.
Exactly. Like I watch a whole bunch of stuff seasonally. Like I do
Yeah.
watch seasonal anime and I try my best to follow it. But currently, like I'm watching, if I can count just based on what I have. Well, I'm watching Baki, which is on Netflix.
Hmm.
I'm watching Banana Fish. I'm watching Bloom Into You, which is a
Oh,
really
Bloom
good,
Into You. I've been meaning to
a
start that.
beautiful Yuri series.
Yeah,
Really, really beautiful. Just like gut wrenchingly cute.
I've
Uh,
heard that it's really good. I've heard that the pacing is very not Yuri pacing.
yeah, it's glacial.
Yeah.
Like it's a slow burn Yuri romance, and it's
Hmm.
very, very good. I'm watching Captain Tsubasa, which is Studio David, who do JoJo. They're doing an adaptation of the Captain Tsubasa. It's a soccer manga, and I don't like sports, but I really like sports manga and anime. So Captain Tsubasa is one of my favorites. It's a very
Hmm.
classic soccer anime, and I'm enjoying this David production adaptation of it. I just finished Cells at Work, which I really, really like, and I'm rewatching it, uh,
Um,
which is a really, really good series.
I've got a recommendation of sports anime for you. Run with the Wind. I have not started it
Is that a
yet.
track series?
Yeah.
I've heard about that. I Somebody told me it was kind of like uh what did they compare it to? They compared it to a sports anime that I really, really like. It's a tennis one.
Oh
Uh
yeah. Names, anime names.
yeah. But no, they said it was like that but with track, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
into it."
it's seems to be pretty good. That's another one on my to start list.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I'm watching Gaikatsu Shoten and Hon-san, which is about a skeleton who works at a bookstore.
Ah,
It's very
bookseller.
funny.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty good.
it's really cute. It's
Yeah, I
really
actually wanted to ask if you'd seen that and also how accurate it is considering your line of work.
oh yeah, considering I'm a bookseller, it's a bit of a different experience because I
Yeah,
sell
it's not
books,
a.
mostly children's books.
Yeah,
But yeah, the fact that you do get weird clientele that you're very inclined to judge based on their taste,
yeah,
that's true. That's true. That's true to life. Uh, I'm watching Gegege no Kitaro, which is Kitaro. That series is amazing. There's nothing. I think it honestly is one of the best like multiple season running anime so far. Like it runs over different seasons.
hmm,
Premiered last season, but it's just kind of kept going. Very, very good anime. It's based on the Kitaro Gigige no Kitaro manga by Shigeru Mizuki, which is it's a very influential manga and it's very old. It's from the Showa era, so like the 1960s. But it's a supernatural and yokai kind of horror ghost comedy. Really,
nice.
really good. It's really funny and creepy and just great. And I'm also watching Starlight Review, which I said, or Review Starlight.
Mm,
Very, very good idol series, but it's based in like the world of theater, so it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like it's kind of like if what if Flip Flappers, but in a theater and with even like I don't know, maybe with a little less Yuri than Flip Flappers, because Flip Flappers is very gay.
yeah.
Um,
Damn it!
I'm
Put more
also
Yuri in this.
I am watching Super Samurai Cyber
I
Squadron
was just
Gridman.
about to say.
Yeah, Gridman has been amazing so far. Just like an absolute standout series. Really,
I
really
I
good.
like the fact that they're like, hey, it's like that Ultraman.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, whoa, okay, yeah.
Do you like Ultraman? Yeah. This is by the creators. Yeah.
Skirt.
Or I should say the company that owns Ultraman.
Yeah.
But holy crap. No, Gridman is like just completely fantastic so far. Like it's reminding me a lot of in how it is like both a fantastic tribute to and a great continuation and evolution of an older superhero series. The way that Gatchaman Crowds is a great kind of successor to the original Gatchaman series.
Yeah.
It's still it's a great kind of tokusatsu inspired anime that does a lot with its characters and makes an attempt to kind of keep the spirit of the original series it's adapting or inspired by, but also does so much to kind of bring it further into the 21st century. And Gridman does that with Gridman what Gatchman Crowds did to Science Ninja Team Gatchman. Really, really, really good show so far. And I mean, the animation is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It looks
it's
beautiful. Like I
it's
haven't had the chance to
crazy.
start it yet. I've seen a couple of clips and stuff.
The
My
fights
backlist
have
is just too crazy.
so much weight to them. It's like watching a really good tokusatsu series with like, really, really good suit acting and
Yeah.
just
Well,
heavy big movements that take into account just kind of the scale of the fight.
yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
so
like
good.
from what I've seen, it looks like they really captured uh kind of what it looks like when it's just two giant adults or two adults fighting on a like miniature set.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
the
yeah.
weight and
That's
stuff is
exactly what it
totally
feels.
there.
100%. That's exactly what it's like. And it's really, really just super cool, beautiful looking, and it's got a pretty great story so far. So I'm enjoying it a lot. But that's just like an amazing show, like just really, really stellar. And it's of course it's by Trigger.
Yeah,
So Trigger
you
have
know
never
it's
made
gonna be
anything.
good.
The only bad thing Trigger has ever done so far is
Spell
Darling in the
Cyber
Franks.
with. Oh
Well,
yeah, but
Darling in
that
the
was
Franks
good
is
at
fucking shit.
first, and then they fucked it
Yeah, and
up.
it kind of devolved into like nationalist garbage.
Yeah.
That feel when your
How you gonna
when your
strip
series
away
evolves
X2's
into
entire character like that?
that feel when your show just devolves into natural, like nationalist propaganda.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
pretty
mean,
fucked up.
uh, I don't. Yeah.
It's
Didn't they?
pretty
Didn't
fucked
they give
up.
us Kill a Kill too?
Yeah, they did Kill a Kill. They did Kisniver, which I really like, but a lot of people aren't fond of apparently.
Yeah. Little Witch
I like Kid.
Academia.
Yeah, which is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Hiroyuki Imaishi Studio. So if you like Hiroyuki Imaishi, you like pretty much all the stuff. I mean, they did Inferno Cop,
Yeah.
Space Patrol Luluco, which is like the least mainstream thing they possibly have ever conceived. Really,
Space
really good
Patrol
series.
logo. Oh
A
my god. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
genuinely funny show, but absolutely like Jesus Christ, you guys are lucky you have this because people wouldn't be giving it to you otherwise. But it's very creative and fun. Very. But no, yeah, Trigger are just a fantastic studio for the most part, with a fairly consistent track record up until Darling in the Franks, which also Darling in the Franks is like mostly produced by what's that studio? A1 Pictures,
Mm-hmm.
who do like bullshit, like really bad bullshit shitty anime a lot of the time, like they do Sword Art Online. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We're not gonna
yeah,
get into that.
exactly. It's like Trigger teaming up with the people who made Sao, so you get like the interesting kind of worlds and designs
And then you get
of
SAO.
Trigger. Yeah, and the bullshit, bad faith politics, garbage, and terrible choices creatively and narratively of Sao. That's kind of what it's like. But yeah, Trigger make good shit, and yeah, there's just so much anime to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard
The
to
list.
think that you could ever watch all of it.
I feel like the list just keeps piling up too.
Oh yeah, every year.
Because there's
Every year.
also that time I got reincarnated as a slime that looks pretty alright.
Yeah, I've not started on that yet, but I've heard it's good. I'm
Uh,
definitely interested in taking a look at that.
Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai 2. There's just too many things. My main
Oh,
focus
boy.
right now is JoJo, and maybe Zombieland, because like that's still pretty new. I think it's only got like 4 episodes right now or something. So I feel like I can catch up to that if it continues to be fun.
Oh boy.
Other than that, I've been playing some Deltarune,
Yeah, so let us talk
which
about Deltarune.
which was recently released as of a couple of hours ago. And
Yeah, very, 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 very recent.
yeah, I got home from my morning run because I do little deliveries of breakfast for people.
Yeah.
So I got home, got on the Twitter, and apparently Toby Fox has not been teasing nothing for the past couple of weeks, because he put out Deltarune, which is an anagram for Undertale, also. super spontaneously and free. We will leave a link
Oh yeah,
for the
100%.
download.
You can find it
And
on the little download website that he's created.
yeah, so we'll leave a link to that.
Just
Um,
really, really, really interesting so far, though.
got home, downloaded that. How far are you?
I have just gotten past the character creator.
Okay.
I am nowhere near getting into it, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
same.
want to hear about what you have to say about it.
Um, Not having played Undertale, which I feel like might be I don't know, like if it's a leg up or if it's a bad thing that I haven't played it. Like I can't tell if there's callbacks. Well, there's definitely going to be callbacks. Like I can't tell if it has anything to do with the original storyline.
Hmm.
Is more the thing, right? But uh, so far the characters are pretty funny. Susie, who you will meet, super badass,
Oh boy,
asshole, attitudey character. Um,
I like asshole characters.
yeah, she's pretty funny. She's got some good quips to throw at you. Um, so like it kind of starts out. You go to the school and like at first I was like, what is this? Just like slice of life Undertale? And then pretty much immediately no, go fuck yourself. It is not. Um, I'm not gonna spoil it to. Well, do you care that much? I mean, it's
I want you to spoil it because I
all
want to
right.
hear what you have to say. Yeah,
So
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
yeah, Susie steals chalk and then eats it, and the teacher is upset. Um, tells Susie and you to go get more chalk from the supply closet. So you guys go to the supply closet, and at this point, I thought the game was haunted or something because every time I got to that part, there was a power surge at my house, so my computer shut down and everything restarted, and I was like, "This is fucked up." But it happened three
Jesus
times in
Christ.
a row at the exact same line of text. So I was like, "What the
Okay.
fuck is happening right now?" But I finally got
Jesus
past it.
Christ. Okay.
Thanks, Hydro Quebec. Yeah, no,
That's pretty
it was
that's pretty
actually pretty spooky,
disturbed.
dude.
Yeah, that's extremely spooky.
So yeah, that was super fun. But yeah,
Jeez.
you go into the thing, and like it's just this big dark emptiness, and like you go in, and Susie and you are like, you know what, fuck this, let's turn around. The door closes, and then you fall down into a kingdom. You're suddenly wearing armor,
Okay.
um, which isn't explained. The battle system now, instead of being kind of Mother 3, where it's like kind of from first person, is now more Final Fantasy normal JRPG RPG stuff,
All right.
where
All
like
right.
your characters are on the side and you have full party control. I don't know if you had full party control. I don't even know if you had a party in the first one, but you
No,
have.
you don't have a party in the.
Okay, yeah. So you have a party in this one so far, anyway. I haven't really made it that far. You make it to this castle. This prince guy is like, oh, the darkness and light are fighting each other. Like there was a balance, and now the darkness is outweighing the light, so the world will end unless we clog up the dark fountain.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. Then you got this guy called Lancer, who's just a fucking tongue-in-cheek villain who's like trying to be a badass but isn't good at it. Um, and that's pretty much as far as I got. I've done a couple of battles. They're kind of a la Shin Megami Tensei, where like you see the enemy sprite, and to engage in battle, you guys have to touch, but you can also run away from the enemy sprite.
Okay.
And like the battle system too is pretty much the same as the first one, where you can either attack or you can act and like pacify the situation, so you can't kill any, so
Okay.
you don't kill anyone. Uh,
That's cool. That's cool.
Except that Susie's an asshole and just attacks anyway. Because she's
Oh
like, no, I
fuck.
just want to fight. So like, you gotta try and pacify. Well, so far it hasn't been a problem. Like I've been able to pacify everything. I'm also going for
Yeah.
the pacifist playthrough for this run. But yeah, she doesn't give a fuck. She's like just attacks everything with her giant axe.
Yeah. That's
The
that's
music
pretty.
is
That just sounds awesome.
it's pretty good so far, dude. Honestly, like again, not having played Undertale, only having seen a couple of things and like heard the music, obviously. Um, like I don't know how much story like intertwines, or if this is
Yeah.
just like a whole other game, or if it's like a different storyline. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be fun figuring that out.
Hmm. That just sounds like a so far a really excellent successor to Undertale.
Yeah, and
I'm
I think a lot
I
of the
love
appeal is
Undertale.
also just being like, is this a prequel? Is this a sequel? Does this have anything to do with it?
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to start dice. So far, I've seen visually how it references Undertale,
yeah.
but I cannot wait to see how it,
I mean the battle
mechanically.
system is pretty much the same. Like it's a
Yeah.
little more JRPG, but you still have your little heart in the box when the enemies attacks, and it's a bullet hell that you
Oh,
gotta avoid. The music is fucking amazing. I don't know how many times I got to like a new area and was just like, all right, opened Chrome, did a couple of things, like just let the music rock a little bit.
yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's going to be especially because I just finished playing the pacifist run of Undertale
Hmm.
on Switch. Like, oh, I absolutely cannot wait to just get into the sequel. I mean, I've been playing Undertale since it came out. I had it on my PC and then I got rid of my PC version when I got it on Switch.
Yeah.
But I am just absolutely completely in love with the idea of playing another game by Toby Fox because I played his Earthbound Halloween hack, which is very good
Oh,
and very
he's the one
creepy.
who did that.
Yes, that's Toby Fox who made that, and that's actually where Megalovania uh, is from, which is pretty cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
shit.
this is just going to be really cool. I'm really hyped to just kind of jump right into it.
Yeah.
I only just made my character, but I want to see what I can get at it. It's going to
Yeah,
be
no,
very
for sure.
interesting.
Don't close it until you hit the first save spot. You will
Yeah.
know when you hit the first save spot, but that's the thing. Like mine crashed every time right before the first save spot.
Oh, okay. So I'll have to be careful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think yours is gonna crash. Like mine was power outages, right? It wasn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't a game bug or anything. It was just power
Is that
outage.
just wind and rain in your area?
No, I have no idea what it was, and like it was just super momentarily like my stove time is still right. My computer turned immediately back on. My Wi-Fi wasn't even affected by like the power
Jesus.
outage. That's how short it was. It was just I don't know. I guess it's a
That's pretty
safeguard,
wild.
but
Maybe the game just is cursed.
I don't know.
I
But
guess
it hasn't
I'll
done it.
have to see if my experience corroborates your evidence.
Just destroys your laptop. Podcast canceled.
We'll just have to see, I guess. We'll just have to see.
Ugh,
Maybe it will. Maybe it'll fuck everything up. Maybe maybe my entire computer will explode.
busted.
Holy shit! But it will be worth it because I'll have played like Undertale 2 for.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm really excited to see what we can do.
possibly Undertale too.
Jeez.
Damn it, Toby Fox! Why you gotta be so mysterious?
Yeah.
Matt, just
Uh,
wait for Matt Pat's YouTube video tonight.
in other news, and spooky news nonetheless,
Yeah.
the trailer for the Medieval ground up remake has come out, and I don't know if you're super familiar with Medieval,
Uh,
the PS1 game,
no.
but
I know the character.
yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
So Medieval is a really interesting game. Funny is like my only experience playing Medieval, uh, was when I was really young. They had it kind of on one of the PS1s at the hairdressers that I went to.
Yeah.
But Medieval is it's a hack and slash kind of action adventure game. Uh, it's really fun. The main character is a medieval knight who is he's a knight, but he's kind of like a fucking total goof.
Yeah,
He's like
he's
he's a complete
clumsy.
charlotte. Yeah, he's a complete like klutz. He's a charlatan, total fool. His name is Sir Daniel Fortescue,
And
and
he is dead as fuck.
yeah, he's kind of an undead knight. He's trying to stop Zarok, who's like an evil invading force.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really, really interesting kind of fun action platformer with like a very Halloweeny aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really cool.
The trailer is it looks fucking so much better.
Yeah, there's a brand new ground up like pixel by pixel line of code per line of code remake of the game coming out for PS4. It's also going to be available in 4K, which is fucking awesome. But it looks just absolutely stunning, and the trailer's just come out for it. I don't think I've.
Will this beat the Crash remake? Probably.
I like my Crash Insane trilogy, but Medieval, I think, visually needed an upgrade more than Crash ever did.
Yeah, it's just another game I need a PS4 for now.
Exactly. Well, you know what? With any luck, I know that it's a Sony title and everything. But I mean, so were like all those Final Fantasies and a whole bunch of shit like that.
Yeah,
maybe they'll port it to Switch.
Maybe.
I don't think they will, but maybe they will.
I feel like I could see it maybe on Steam.
Yeah, maybe on Steam it'll probably come.
Maybe.
I would really like to give it a try.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That would
this
be
is
really,
this
fun.
is a Sony IP, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so yeah, like if they did make it multi-console, I feel like they could probably
I don't
make more
think
money.
it's a Sony. Let me see who developed.
It might.
Oh yeah, it is Sony Interactive.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it then. But I really, really, really do like Medieval. So this new one, it's called what's it called there? Medieval remake. Yeah, it's just a remake.
Just remake.
But it's going to be really, really interesting. And I mean that first Medieval is a very fun, silly, stupid game. It's just
Why don't they just call like I don't like the remake tagline. Make it like revived or something.
I think it's called. I think it's just called Medieval. Is it now? Let's see.
Oh yeah, the title at the end just says Medieval. Medieval.
Well, there we go. That'll do it.
Yeah,
but I'm interested in giving that a try. And also, I'm happy they made Daniel look like a fucking goof and didn't make him look all serious and shit.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're able to do with this.
I want a mod that just gives him Death's face from Darksiders 2.
Edgelord. You can just play Medieval as Death.
Oh, that would be great.
Darksiders those are some fun games. Those are some fun spooky games.
Those are some fun spooky games, sir.
Hey,
you know what the spookiest part of Darksiders 2 is? That fucking progression bug that I got and haven't played since.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I got to that and was like, well, I guess that's that. I'm not restarting the game.
We should maybe should we kind of sound off a couple of our favorite spooky things that we would want to do to get into the spirit of the season?
Yeah, what do you like to do to get that moist skeleton inside your body?
Well, sometimes to moisten my skeleton, I like to read manga. Horror manga is kind of my favorite genre of manga.
It is a very good genre. Sorry.
I like to read stories by people like Junji Ito.
Yeah.
Or my favorite
my
favorite horror manga series of all time is Frank and Fran, which is a body horror.
Yeah.
Series that I have all 4 volumes of it available in English. They have deluxe volumes that are 2 volumes apiece. I have the entire series, but it's a series about a girl named Fran who kind of helps people by fixing them, but she like fucks their bodies up really, really badly. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like very Twilight Zone-y episode type stories, but they're so creepy and visceral and gross, but also darkly humorous. And often like a good Twilight Zone episode, they're kind of morality tales about maybe you were kind of good the way you were before.
Maybe give me my robot arm.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you didn't need a change anyway. Here's a robot arm.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Frank and Fran's a favorite series of mine. I love reading that. Do you have a favorite horror book or manga to read?
Horror book or manga? Not really, because I only really started reading mangas this year. So
Oh, okay.
I haven't, I mean, I guess
Uh,
I recently restarted, um, but like actually into it. I started one, it's called
oh,
Ibitsu.
Hibitsu. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so far kind of creepy. It's got kind of that weird, because what it is like it's an urban legend about a gothic Lolita monster that chills by garbage cans, and if you pass by her, she's like, "Oh, would you have a little sister?" And if you answer her, she just follows you around as your little sister, and
Oh,
like stuff.
okay.
I don't know if it's going to a place that is incestual creepy, but
Yeah, that sounds a little weird.
yeah, no.
But interesting so far, though.
So
That's
far
kind
it's
of a
pretty
cool.
good. It's like there's actual tension and actual like, oh, what the fuck moments. But right now I'm at a part where she is trying to kill the MC's actual little sister because she's
Oh,
like, fuck you,
okay.
I'm the only little sister.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
So
interesting.
I'm about not even halfway yet. I guess I'm about a quarter in. Um, Actual tension, it's pretty good, but yeah, I'm still kind of afraid that it might go to a creepy place.
That's fair, I'd
Not
say.
creepy as in spooky, just creepy as in, oh, why'd you do that? Why are you doing that? Stop. Japan.
Uh, have you ever, I guess, have you ever read anything by Junji Ito?
No, I have not, but I do know of his existence.
Yeah, I think he's considered by a lot of people to be like one of the best horror mangaka.
Yeah, I
But
know he inspired a lot of Silent Hill stuff.
yes, without a doubt. He writes a lot of psychological horror, but his horror also veers into body horror
Yeah.
and guro gore and a whole bunch of stuff like that. I want to say his most popular series are probably Tomie, which is a kind of an anthology series strung together by like a girl named Tomie,
Mhm.
and uh, Uzumaki, which is a really really amazing short series of his. You can buy the whole thing in one volume about a town that's haunted by the image of a spiral and how that spiral image kind of starts tearing the main characters' lives apart. But it's really that one's like an extremely creepy and fucked up kind of almost cosmic level horror, supernatural horror
Mhm.
story. But my favorite Junji Ito stories are his short stories. They're ones that are just kind of a one go chapter type story. And my favorite story of all time by him is a story called Glyceride.
Uh,
Glyceride is a disgusting body horror story about a girl who lives with her father and brother in a dumpling shop that is always so greasy and the air hangs so heavily,
oh
with the
yeah,
scent of
I'm
grease.
looking at panels right now. Her dad's like sweaty.
Yeah,
Little brother's sweaty as
yeah,
fuck.
that she you only ever smell fry cook oil.
Yeah.
It's but just the
Oh
imagery of that
fuck.
series,
Yeah.
it's totally disgusting. Her
I'm
brother
scrolling down
is
panels right now. It's fucking
her her brother is really pimply and at
yeah.
one point like pops all his pimples on her.
Yeah,
It's
that's where I'm at
eh,
right now in the I'm just scrolling past the images and it's like, "Oh, all right.
it's
Oh,
if you just kind of go through that one, read it, it's
I'm gonna
it's
read
one
the
of the most
Oh, what
effective,
the
visceral, and
fuck?
disgusting horrors. Yeah.
Oh, I'm stop. Okay, now I'm reading this after, I guess, because it's not great for the podcast for me to be
It's
like,
a it's
ooh.
a it's like a 32-page story,
Oh,
and it is
that's a terrible panel.
one of the sickest things. Like, yeah,
That's the worst panel ever.
one of the absolute sickest horror stories ever written. It's disgusting. It's just terrible, but I love it. I love it so much. It is. I
Yeah, I'm still looking at panels
I
and
know
being
the
like,
exact panel. I know the
yeah,
exact.
it's not great,
Yeah.
but it is the best. It's so grossly detailed.
I think anybody who effective nasty guru horror, body horror type shit is going to be repulsed by that.
You got to
It's
remember that these are black and white manga panels and got a reaction that is equivalent to almost a jump scare out of me.
so yeah, Glyceride's a very good story, but Junji Ito and horror manga in general is a good way to get into the spirit of the season. I mean, playing horror games is
Yeah.
also very good.
I always go back to Resident Evil 2, which is getting that
Hmm.
remake soon. Gonna have
That's going to be very
that's
exciting. And I just recently replayed the remake on GameCube with my friend,
yeah.
and that was a joy. And still gets a fair few fucking scares out of you.
Man,
That's
those
for sure.
scarecrows in the window every time. I know
I
it's
don't.
coming, and it just
Yeah,
gets me every time.
you know that shit is there, but you will jump anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's nothing more terrifying than knowing that a Crimson Head is fucking coming after.
Yep. Or that you're almost out of bullets, but you got to get past that liquor to get more bullets.
Oh yeah, it is. That is a really really terrifying game at times. Like it will scare the shit out of you.
I am so excited for the remake. That's
Yeah,
that's
going
gonna
to
be
be
a day
fun.
off right there. Just like, no, I'm not going. I'm not going in.
I'm not going in. I'm playing Resi 2, bitch.
Yeah. I'm
You
sorry.
can't.
I'm sick. No, you're
You
not.
can't
I
get
know.
me otherwise. Yeah, that's going to be really fun. And I mean, the Resident Evil series is awesome.
Yeah.
There have been some some stumbles along the way, but
Yeah, but you gotta drop the ball sometimes.
Resi 7 was so good. It was an excellent horror game.
I I thought it was okay. I think it could have been scarier because like I didn't like that the enemy type was so the same the entire game. I would have liked a bit of variety
Okay, that's
between
fair.
the like slimy monsters because like the first couple ones are like oh fuck, but once you know how to kill them and you know how to deal with them, it's like okay. There's just seven of them now. That's not scary. That's just inconvenient. And they fucking give you so much ammo too. You never I never felt in peril in Res 7. The first person though was really good. Like I like that it is a PT ripoff essentially.
It is. It totally is. This is them being like, yeah, PT.
Yeah.
Remember?
Remember that
PT?
thing that died that you want really bad that's you're never gonna get? We kind of made it.
We kind of made it.
Speaking of PT, actually, there is a early access game out right now. It's called Visage.
Okay.
If you want to look that up real quick, I think it's
Visage.
Canadian.
Hmm.
Sad Square Studio is I can't tell where it's from.
Visage.
Yeah, Visag. So like face in French.
Visage.
It is essentially PT from what I've seen so far.
Okay.
Just the PT we never got. It's first person.
It is absolutely PT. Yeah, you're right. Wow, that is.
I mean, the house even looks like PT.
And that looks real.
It looks.
The lighting. If this is in-game photos, the lighting is amazing.
There's a whole mechanic of like the lights will burn out, so you have to find light bulbs to put into places. If it's too dark, you can't do anything. You get lighters, but they run out of fuel. You can light candles and like leave them around, but if you move them too quick, they blow out. It's got the amnesia thing too, where like being in the darkness drains your sanity, and that starts making shit go off like even harder.
Okay, so that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it looks fucking promising.
Which, by the way, another great Halloween spooky game, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and Amnesia: Machine for Pigs. Although it's kind of a different sort of horror with the Machine for Pigs, but it's a lot more kind of. I want to say it's more gothic. Or no, not gothic. Sorry, more like well, it is gothic actually. It is a little gothic. but it's kind of got a more Victorian setting, and that kind of setting, I guess, because it's set mostly within kind of a city, right?
Yeah.
Is it's a different kind of setting. It's not enclosed space, feeling like you're not going to be able to get out of this place kind of horror. You don't feel confined. It's more so like the horror of knowing that there's something terrible going on around you that you're not able to stop.
Mhm.
It's a lot more. I guess it's kind of like cosmic horror a little bit, where the threat is so grand that there's no way that you could possibly contend with it, and the notion of surviving it is completely out of the question.
Lovecraftian.
Yeah, it's very Lovecraftian.
It's so
Exactly.
scary. I couldn't even. I can't even describe it. But what was it? I couldn't. If oh man, it was so
Exactly.
scary. Like,
Well,
what?
there we go. But Machine for Pigs is a fun one, but yeah, The Dark Descent is
Dark Descent. Fucking
a totally stellar game.
meets that water box level.
Oh yeah,
Like, whoa.
just
The footsteps approaching of an invisible creature, but you know it's there because you can see the
mhm.
water and you hear Slender. Was it Slender or Slender Man? Um,
I think it's just called Slender, but it is
yeah.
about Slender Man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, but that game also has one where you're in a factory somewhere
Hmm.
and just like you hear these footsteps coming up to you like super quickly and you don't really know because the echo of the inside of the factory you can't really pinpoint where they're coming from. Like
Hmm.
I was playing with a friend around this time last year actually, and
Yeah.
like literally just shit my pants, was screaming like I don't fucking know where it's coming from, and like I think that's the most stressed out a video game ever made me. So props to Slender.
That's I don't think there's anything more visceral than a well designed jump scare.
Yeah, ones that you don't see coming, but I really like the ones that you're like, oh, there's gonna be one here, and you go, fuck,
Oh
every
yeah, oh
time.
yeah, for sure.
Like you know it's there, but it still gets you, and you're like, God damn it.
That's what I like the most about Dark Descent is that the jump scares never feel cheap because
Yeah.
it really is just totally fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like really scary. That shit freaked the shit out of
Selma
me.
does it pretty well too.
So, I mean, but there we go. That just goes to show you how good Frictional are at making survival horror.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, Soma's definitely more of a sci-fi flavored type game,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
but keeps that same tension and just utter sense of utter terror. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's completely horrifying. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm totally in love with Frictional's stuff. I mean, they just have made amazing games, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, like Penumbra, those are really good games, really good survival horror games actually, and I think they're quite underrated. So they've made just a lot of good shit. It's just kind of how they do.
They killing it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they've done a good job with. So yeah, Dark Descent's another one that I love to play, and I got it for free a couple. I want to say about a year ago. I got it for free on Steam, so I've
Yeah.
had it on my
I was actually
PC. And
thinking of possibly streaming that tonight a little
it's
bit
not a bad
later.
idea.
It's
It's that's a great game to play if you
yeah.
want to get. That's for sure. And I mean, in terms of movies, there's an infinite amount of spooky stuff,
So much spooky stuff.
and
So much. There's
I
too
mean,
many
I
spooky
love a
things.
I love a good spooky movie.
A good
Everybody
spook.
loves a good.
Everyone looks.
Everybody loves a good spooky movie, and I mean, I love horror. I You were talking about The Haunting of Hill House the other week,
Yeah. Did
but
you?
I mean, I did in fact indulge a small bit, and it is very good.
What?
Quite
What
enjoying.
part are you at right now?
I'm only on the third episode,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
It
so
picks quite up because it took.
shit is kind of starting to get real, but
Yeah.
I can tell it's a slow burn, so it's kind of teasing me,
It's a
and I'm
slow
enjoying it.
start, but then once the fire's burning, it's burning for like a good while.
Well, I'm really excited to continue with it because I've really enjoyed just kind of the build up to what I know is inevitably going to come,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot wait to see what it does. It just seems like it's going to be a really good time.
Yeah,
So
and I'm
I'm
stoked to
excited.
talk to you about it too, actually, because I need to. I need to talk to someone about that ending, man.
Well, then I'll be sure to try and finish it as soon as I can.
Yeah,
On top of all the other shit that I need to
yeah.
watch.
I definitely recommend Castlevania first if you want
Yeah,
to power
I
through
think that's
that.
my tonight watch is Castlevania.
Yeah,
Sure.
but Haunting at Hill House we can cover like in a week or two because it's longer than Castlevania.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
that ending, man.
I just can't wait to see what they do. I mean, Mike Flanagan is, I think I talked about him in that first episode too, but is just a very talented horror
Yeah,
director.
he is, and he
And
does it super
you know,
good. He does it super good up until the
yeah,
end.
Absentia, Oculus, Ouija, the Origin of Evil,
Yeah,
Ouija, the recent adaptation of Gerald's Game, which was really good,
yeah,
and
that
that was
was
I
something.
think that was a Netflix one too, like exclusive to Netflix.
Yeah,
But
it was, and also has the same girl in Haunting at Hill House.
oh yeah, Carla Gugino,
Yeah,
yeah, she's
I always
really
forget her name.
she's just honestly amazing. Like she's a really good actor,
Hmm.
and she's been in a lot of really good stuff. Like just kind of in the background sometimes, like a lot of supporting roles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, she played the original Silk Spectre in the Watchmen movie, for instance. She was also the mom in Spy Kids, which is really funny.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she is.
Huh.
I know.
Well, that's super funny because I actually just watched the 2007 Halloween recently.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't really talk about it because, you know, but the kid from Spy Kids is in that as like the first bully.
Oh yeah, and he
And
gets his ass handed to him.
yeah, but it's super weird, like seeing someone come from like a kid movie like that, where they're like a good guy and nice, to being like a piece of shit bully, just fucking being terrible and an asshole. And it's like you're an actor, okay? You're not gonna be the good guy every single time, but it's still like
Yeah.
it's like fuck, what's that show or movie that Josh Peck is in, and he calls someone a faggot, and
Oh,
like it's just like whoa, what the fuck?
I'm trying to remember, but I remember that I know exactly what you're talking about. That's true. God damn. She's in a lot of good stuff though, Carla Gugino. She's a talented actor. And God, she's even in like Man of Steel, which I didn't even know that. And she's in Sucker Punch. But I think she's only in that because she was also in Watchmen.
Yeah,
She must be. I think she must be friends with Zack Snyder. But she's in a couple
the
movies.
Snyderverse.
Ugh. But the tiresome verse. Let's be real.
If I cared about DC, we could have more of a conversation.
I'll have more to talk about DC next week when I play more of the DC superheroes or DC
Yeah.
villains game.
How far are you
But
into that so far?
I am like 2 hours in, so I have nothing to say
Okay,
about it.
fair enough.
But I will have more to say. Definitely. And it's the kind of game you can play piecemeal, half an hour each day,
Yeah.
and get a bunch out of it. So, but yeah, Mike Flanagan's a very talented director, and yeah, he's done a lot of good stuff, and he's made a lot of great movies that I think are great to watch on Halloween. I mean, that last Ouija movie is a perfectly fun movie to watch. It's also the only movie that I could possibly think of based on a board game that isn't Clue that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also really interesting. The movie by all rights should have been terrible, but it was actually really very good.
Clue?
Not Clue, but Ouija. Although Clue is really
Ouija.
good too.
Yeah,
Against
because
all
I was like, Clue is one of the top
Yeah.
tier board game adaptations.
Oh yeah, like 100%.
Which is
Against
a
all
niche,
odds.
a
Really is.
niche category for an award, but congratulations.
And Oculus, which is just an amazing horror movie. I think it's one of the most chilling horror movies I've ever watched. It's got Karen Gillan, and it's funny. It's Karen Gillan from Doctor who she went on to play Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
and Brenton Thwaites, who went on to kind of go and play Robin in Titan. So you got the DC and the Marvel characters.
If
in
you
both of
dig
them.
deep enough, it's all connected.
Exactly.
Could you
It's both
imagine
comic.
the amount of possibilities that would open up if you had a Kingdom Hearts Lego game?
Holy shit.
Yeah, just sit on
It
that
always
one for a second.
it always makes me it makes me wild to think that like Lego did kind of have a crossover game, Lego Dimensions, where you could play as like
Yeah,
you could
everyone.
team up like the Lego movie characters with like Doctor Who, the Ghostbusters, Lego Batman, and like Lego DC superheroes and a whole bunch of shit like that. And that was a pretty fun game. It's a too bad that it was Toys to Life, so it was pretty expensive to keep
Yeah.
going. But and kind of Toys to Life as a genre kind of fucking died with like the exception of that new game that's just come out, the Starfighter game, Starlink.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Starlink Battle for Atlas. It's like a new space shooter that's come out
Oh
recently, but
yeah.
the Nintendo version's got Star Fox characters in it.
Oh okay.
But that's like the only Toys to Life game I could possibly think of existing into like 2018 as like a relevant piece of technology. But when I was at EB Games today getting my these super villains, I saw a bunch of Starlink ships for sale, and I was like, man, these are fucking expensive.
Are they at least high quality? They look.
Oh yeah, they look
high
very
quality.
good. They look very good, but they are expensive to play a video game.
Yeah.
I know that I don't think they're required to play the game, but of course,
Well,
Toys
like
to Life
DLC.
games encourage. Yeah, they encourage you to buy stuff like that.
Pay to win.
Like, I don't need an amiibo to enjoy my Switch games.
Yeah,
know?
I can play Shovel Knight without the amiibo. Thank you.
Exactly, and it's fine, and it's great. Like I don't need that character. I don't need an amiibo to enjoy. Which is the thing that I find, kind of disappointing about Toys to Life is that a lot of the time you couldn't just enjoy the game in its own right. You needed to buy toys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
a
your
pity.
fucking
They
room gets cluttered with all the toys.
They counted on the toys to sustain the game.
Yeah, they put the cost into the toys to have the game run with the toys, so they're not just gonna retcon the toys.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a good idea. It wasn't going to last.
Damn you, Skylanders!
Yeah, it's a pity. I think Skylanders also just.
What was the Disney one too? Disney
Infinity.
Oh god, yeah.
That was a good one.
They almost got me with the Skeleton Jack one. I was like, but then I was like, no, that's the only thing I'm gonna play. I'm not buying. No.
Those figurines were high quality, and I really liked the style that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But I always kind of wished that they had made like action figures in that art style. And lo and behold, there is actually, if you go to the Disney store and like wherever you have a Disney store, there's a series of toys they sell there called like Disney Toy Box.
Yeah.
And they are literally just high quality like highly articulated action figures in that art style of Marvel and like Star Wars and a variety of Disney. Mm-hmm. So there is no reason you ever have to buy a Disney Infinity figures ever again, apart from the fact that the series is also completely dead.
Yeah, discontinued.
And they like fucking killed the studio and everything, which is kind of sad. But like specifically though, like there's now literally no reason to possibly buy Disney Infinity stuff anymore, because you could just go and buy those really nice high quality action figures, which they're very, very nice. And they look good, and they're they feel good to have.
Yeah.
So those are really, really good. Next time I go and I see them, I might just buy the Black Panther one. It looks really, really good.
Do it. Oh,
I should.
Disney has Marvel. Man, that's so weird.
They got Marvel and Star Wars.
Are we gonna have an Infinity World level in Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, they can't, unfortunately, because Marvel, like even though Marvel is owned by Disney, the rights to make Marvel games are owned by different companies, and right now, Square Enix is currently working on an Avengers game, which remains to be seen whether or not it's still in development. I think it's meant to be a reboot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Ugh. Well, actually, you know what?
Those games are kind of fun.
Those multiplayer are great.
Absolutely the stupidest fucking things ever, but they're fun kind of multiplayer, action RPGs. I enjoy them. It's just X-Men Legends, but with the other Avengers.
Yeah, with more
But
Marvel heroes.
Exactly. But I like X-Men Legends. And I like how they play. I've always enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were fun.
So even that shitty second one, I actually kind of enjoyed.
I never liked the top-down brawlers.
Yeah, they're
that
not
much.
they're not
Unless,
100% my
like,
favorite kind of game. I like Smash TV if you've ever played that.
yeah,
I like that.
the only style of game that I like that top-down in is fuck, what's it called? Kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons, Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Baldur's Gate. Those are
Yeah.
very fun. Yeah, I like Baldur's Gate as well.
That's like the only time I really like that top-down kind of
Yeah,
thing.
those kinds of shooters and kind of beat 'em ups in the top-down perspective typically don't appeal to me. But I do really like well, I mean, I like the classic Fallout games as well.
Yeah.
Those are kind of almost isometric. They kind of got a bit of an isometric perspective going for them. But I do really enjoy Smash TV. That's a fun one. Also, just if I have a thing for like the Running Man, and like that concept of like people like Mad World, the Running Man, even to an extent the Hunger Games. Where it's
Hmm.
the gamification of murder.
Yeah.
Or the game showification of murder. I think that's a really interesting
Murder
and
show.
always kind of a relevant sort of thing to me. Like it seems like, wow, we're increasingly getting closer and closer to having that as entertainment.
Yeah.
So yeah, gladiatorial matches are just coming back. The gladiator
We gotta go
arena
full
is-
loop now.
Exactly. So I don't know. I have like a feeling thing coming back. So whenever I see like something like some media that portrays that as like a world, I feel vindicated.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think I don't think I have anything more to say today.
Me neither. This would be the part where we go into more news, kind of, but there's not, like,
Yeah, there's not a
we-
terrible amount of news.
nothing. I don't know if nothing happened this week or if I just dropped the ball in looking at shit this week. Because usually I'll just dump it in our Discord, but I was super busy all week, so I didn't really have time to
On a gaming website, I
troll
wasn't
the
really
Twitters.
seeing anything.
Yeah. I mean, there's rumors. Are they confirmed of the Macadamia live action movie, which will be horrible and hilarious to laugh at?
Huh. Pretty sure there's still just unsubstantiated rumors.
Yeah. I guess we can wait till next week for that one. But
Yeah,
if that is real,
I
it'll
think
be
there
funny.
might be more. Yeah, it's all of this is just kind of like reviews for. I don't really see
Oh,
anything.
you know what
new.
it was? Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, so everyone was like, nothing going
Yeah,
on.
nothing else. Nothing else matters, I guess. Huh. I mean, like, yeah, there's nothing really that I see.
Oh, shit. Well, speaking of Frankenfran, Clemps just made a manga review for it, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you want to go check that out after.
Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I super duper dig that actually. So yeah, that would be rad.
All right, so...
I'd be into it.
I guess that means we're pretty much done.
Yeah, I guess so.
Uh,
I guess the trick or treaters are probably coming to.
yeah,
I guess about half an hour because it's nearing 5 o'clock when.
yeah.
Even
Those
in this
damn
shitty
kids are
dismal,
coming.
this dismal weather, I got a lot of little kids in my neighborhood. So probably gonna get trick or treated.
Fair enough.
But I have
At
all
least
my
it's not
candy
snowing
set up.
tonight.
Yeah, that's true, and it has snowed on Halloween before.
Yes, it has. I think
I
8 years ago
remember
was the last time.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. But,
Canada is a dismal wasteland.
I think this is going to be interesting. Oh boy. So yeah, this is going to be a fun little Halloween evening. I'm gonna get and watch the rest of that Castlevania series because I'm just into it.
Get in there. I'm probably gonna stream after this, honestly.
All right.
I'm not sure what I'll stream yet. I might stream Visage if I have enough money to get that, because that
That'd be
actually
cool.
looks fucking rad. If not, I'll probably just play Amnesia or continue Soma or some shit. I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. I am also very tired.
Spooked.
Yeah, I gotta get spooked tonight.
You gotta get spooked.
That's
get just
spooked.
how it. All right. Well, you have yourself.
You too. And all right, I'm gonna kill this Twitch. Thanks for hanging out, people. If you are here, I can't really tell right now. If you want to send us emails, I guess.
Oh yeah, you can always send us emails at
GamePunxcast, GamePunx cast.
It's actually PUNKZ cast.
No, I got the Punx one.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got the Punx one for the Twitch.
Oh, good.
So that way all the cast emails can actually go here and everything else can.
Very, very good. Okay, so then send us emails that way.
Yeah. GamePunx at GamePunxcast@gmail.com. Yeah.
There we go.
Gotta get that cast in there.
And of course, follow us on YouTube and check our mega link folder for MP3s of every episode,
which you can find on our Facebook. That is also
yeah.
GamePunx.
Yeah, it's just pinned. It's the pinned post at the top of our Facebook wall, and yeah, you can listen to the whole thing on YouTube if you weren't able to catch it on Twitch, or if you don't want to have to re-listen to it on Twitch.
Yeah, or if you don't have the space on your phone because you got all those Bowsette pics.
Yeah, that's true. And as we know, most people's phones are taken up by just an entire folder of Bowsette pics.
Yeah, Bowsette and Bouette.
There's a Bouette now?
Oh man.
I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah, you got it. It's honestly, I prefer Bouette to Bowsette.
Ooh, okay.
Serious.
Those sound like very confrontational words. I guess
I'll fight anyone, man.
Well, I guess we'll have to see who compares to who.
Yeah.
I guess Bouette, it would be a monster girl.
Yeah, well, so is Bowsette though.
So is Bowsette.
They're both monster girls.
Battle of the Monsterettes.
Yeah.
That's really hard to choose. I guess I'm gonna have to see who's better.
I say it's Bouette. If you disagree, podcast canceled.
Well, then we'll have to leave this conflict for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll start it off with an argument.
Victorious. All right. Well, happy Halloween, Ben.
Happy Halloween.
All right.